Today we're doing an interview with Carlota, who's an air traffic controller at Jerez Airport. Watch at the end of the video to hear her at work.
Lima Tango Fox Bravo, wind calm, runway 20, intersection Echo 3, clear for takeoff.
Hi, this is me, Clifford, my wife Ruth, our little dog Percy, and our little Piper Cherokee. This is our mechanic Fran, who keeps us flying. Follow us on our adventures as we fly around Europe.
Hello, my name is Carlota, I'm 22, I work as an air traffic controller here in Jerez Airport, and I have spent 3 years and a half working.
Okay, what made you get into air traffic control?
I decided I wanted to be an air traffic controller once I was 18. I realized I couldn't be a military pilot for Spanish Air Force because I couldn't pass my medical exam because of my eyes. So I had to take the decision to continuing with my degree or becoming a traffic controller. So that was the reason. And nowadays I can say it was the best decision I can take ever.
Did you not think about becoming a commercial pilot?
No.
You just on the commercial one, just say how expensive it is.
Oh yeah.
To do the commercial pilot.
Usually people ask me why I didn't want to become a commercial pilot. Since I was little, I knew I wanted to work for the Spanish Air Force and I wanted to be a pilot. But I have to say, being a commercial pilot is so expensive. So for that reason, for me, it wasn't an option. Nowadays, I know that there are so many pilot schools where you can have a grant and you don't have to pay that amount of money.
Okay, what's the best thing about being an air traffic controller?
In my opinion, the best thing about being or working as an air traffic controller is your job change every single day. I arrived yesterday, I started working, and I will start working tomorrow again, and the day will be completely different. I didn't want to have a job where you arrive and you stay in an office and doing papers. Now I want to think, I want to make decisions.
What's the worst thing about being an air traffic controller?
The worst thing about being a traffic controller for sure is the schedule. Maybe when you get older you can have another point of view, but now I'm 22 and all my friends are studying at the uni. I cannot meet as much as I would like, and maybe they have weekends off and I'm working, so I cannot go out with them. You know, a minor problem, but for me it's the worst thing.
You had to deal with any emergencies?
Okay. Here in the tower we usually have, well, we cannot call it emergency because, you know, they don't say Mayday or Pam Pam, but we work with pilot schools, so they are training and they are learning. Most of them start flying when they just have 10 hours flying. So we have a lot of alternator failures, we have communication failures, and sometimes, for example, communication, they don't have the failure, but maybe they forgot, I don't know, turning on, whatever. I'm not a pilot, I have no idea. But that's the most common emergency I have here, and they are really easy to manage. And as I said, they are pilot school, so they do what we say, so it's quite easy.
Okay, what's the most stressful day you can remember?
The most stressful day I can remember was my first day working as an air traffic controller, because when you arrive in the tower you spend about 6 months being a trainee, but once you pass all the exams you have to pass, you start working on your own. And my first day was afternoon during the winter. There was so many planes who had to be landing in Malaga and Sevilla Airport, and they couldn't, so they decided to come to Jerez. You know, our instrumental landing system is not as good as the one they have. So it was quite stressful, for sure, because there were so many planes coming to Jerez. The weather wasn't really good. The pilot, all of them were telling me, okay, we need to land, we have to do it, because we have tried twice in Malaga and twice in Sevilla, so we have to land. So I didn't have to do anything, just telling the weather and the situation. And for me, that was the reason about being so stressful, because I couldn't do anything to help them. So that was the day, for sure.
Have you noticed a big difference between pre-pandemic and post-pandemic?
We have noticed a lot pre-pandemic, and during pandemic obviously the traffic decreased a lot, but here in Jerez we don't have so many commercial traffic, so okay, it was more or less the same. But with pilot school we have noticed, because obviously COVID had a big impact on aviation, so planes are flying less, obviously they need less pilots, so maybe people who want to be a pilot decide to start studying in the next 5-8 years instead of starting now. So obviously we don't have as many flights as we used to have, but thanks God we are having maybe 50% we used to have pre-pandemic, so it's not quite bad.
Which do you prefer? Is it general aviation pilots or commercial pilots when you're working in the tower?
Well, when I'm working in the tower, depending on the pilot, because commercial pilots are so easy, because they ask for the clearance and they know, well, usually they know everything they have to do, so we just tell them and they do it. But with general aviation pilot, and I'm talking more about trainees, it's quite fun, because they are learning and they make mistakes, so it makes you to be more aware of what was going on, and sometimes you have to solve some problems, but usually they are not in a hurry. Commercial pilots want to land, leave the passengers and go back to the airport. So I think I prefer general aviation pilot, and they always say good morning, or sometimes they ask you how are you, because they are feeling relaxed. I mean, they are working, but they are not working for a company with 300 passengers that maybe they have problems in the planes. They are always in a hurry.
So if you want to become an air traffic controller, what would you recommend?
Well, if you want to be an air traffic controller, I have to say it's difficult. I mean, not for the training, it's difficult because having the information about this small world is really, really difficult to find it. And you can search on internet, yes, of course, but if I try to search on internet some information, I will say at least 40% is not correct. They talk about salaries, they talk about shift. All of that depends on the tower you work for and obviously the company. So I will tell you, okay, go for it, ask in pilot school, well, the ones that have a part for air traffic controller. And as I tell everybody, for example, now you're meeting me here in this video and you will have my Instagram behind, so everyone who wanna know or have information about that, you could ask me without problem. I'm sure I will be really happy to help you, as I did when I decided to be an air traffic controller. I asked so many people, I called so many pilot school, and when I had a lot of information, I realized what was real, what was unreal, and I had different point of view.
And where did you do your training?
I did my training in Madrid. The school is called Skyway, because there was an offer. You just had to do the interviews and psychometric tests, and they said, okay, if you pass that exams, you will have for sure a place in one of the tower we have in the next year. So for the reason I did in Madrid, and I'm really happy. It was a really good experience, and I think it is, obviously you have to see where you have to choose where you want to do the course, but I mean in every single place is really good and you will really enjoy it. If you have any questions, you can leave it below and I will answer for sure all of them, so I will be really happy.
Okay, today Carlota's on the radio at 8. So we're going to talk to her now. We're taking off from Jerez to Trebujena. Jerez, this is Golf Lima Tango Fox Bravo, buenos días.
Golf Lima Tango Fox Bravo, Jerez Tower, muy buenas.
Golf Foxtrot Bravo, information Romeo, runway news 20, QNH 1027, required taxi to 20 for a VFR departure via Whiskey.
Golf Lima Tango Fox Bravo, taxi AK3, hold short of runway 20, squawk 7307.
Squawk 7307, taxi to Echo 3, hold short 20, Golf Fox Bravo.
Golf Lima Tango Fox Bravo, wind calm, runway 20, intersection Echo 3, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, intersection Echo 3, Golf Fox Bravo. Big and Whiskey, request frequency change to 123.325, Golf Fox Bravo.
Golf Fox Bravo, can test Trebujena 123.325, nice flight and Happy New Year.
123.325 and Happy New Year to you, Golf Fox Bravo.